Have you ever wondered why some people seem to face challenges that are so intense, while others seem to sail through life more easily? What if these challenges weren't random at all, but part of a bigger plan, something preparing them for a divine purpose? Life often feels like a constant spiritual test. Every obstacle, loss, or difficulty seems to push us to our limits, and we often question if we're truly ready for it. But what if I told you that these tests are exactly what we need to fulfill a greater mission? They're not punishments or coincidences, but preparations for something magnificent, something only you, with your unique experiences, can accomplish. This video is for you, someone who's searching for a deeper purpose. If you've ever felt lost, overwhelmed, or discouraged by the challenges life throws your way, you're not alone. Together, we'll explore how the greatest spiritual tests are, in fact, part of shaping you for a greater mission. If you're ready to understand how these challenges could be the key to your destiny, stay with me until the end. The answer could change how you see everything you're going through right now. Many times, we wonder, why do some people seem to be tested in such intense ways while others seem to have a smoother journey? If you've ever felt this way, questioning why you're going through bigger or more frequent challenges than others, you're not alone. It can feel like you're constantly overwhelmed, like life is testing you at every turn. These tests might come in different forms: family issues, financial struggles, identity crises, or even spiritual and emotional battles that seem never-ending. But what's really going on here? And why often do those who face these difficulties appear to be chosen to go through harsher trials? Is there a hidden reason behind all of this? Many people in search of answers find themselves facing an emptiness, a sense of being on a journey without meaning, where each step feels heavier than the last. What's happening in these moments is a deep questioning about life and purpose. The truth is, the most difficult spiritual tests aren't just random. They could be part of a bigger plan. They aren't obstacles to get over, but markers along a path that prepare you for something bigger. Life is testing your resilience, your inner strength, and more importantly, your readiness for what's ahead. In this video, we'll try to understand why these spiritual trials exist and how they can be the key to understanding your true purpose in the world. When we talk about the chosen ones, there are often misconceptions or distorted ideas. The word chosen may be associated with something of elevated status, as if it's a distinction reserved for a special group. However, the true essence of being spiritually chosen has nothing to do with superiority. It's about the responsibility of facing deeper challenges in order to fulfill a greater mission than yourself. Being chosen for great spiritual tests means being destined to carry out a mission of significant importance in the world. These missions are not given to just anyone, but to those who have the strength necessary to transform adversities into opportunities for growth and learning. The chosen ones are those who, throughout life, experience tough trials because their souls are being shaped to face what lies ahead. If we look at great spiritual leaders and historical figures, we'll see that their lives were marked by great trials. Jesus, for example, endured a journey full of hardships, from his humble birth to the crucifixion. But it was these challenges that prepared him for the mission he would carry out in the world. Similarly, Buddha went through a long period of suffering and inner searching before achieving enlightenment. Gandhi, with all his inner and outer struggles, became the symbol of peaceful resistance, changing not only India, but the entire world. These people weren't superior to others. They were chosen, not because they were stronger, but because their spiritual trials shaped them to fulfill a divine mission. The adversities they faced weren't a punishment. They were the key that prepared them for the greatness they would eventually reach. Being chosen doesn't mean being exempt from suffering. It means being prepared to transcend that suffering and transform it into something greater. Spiritual challenges aren't just tests to see how much we can endure. They are a tool for deep transformation, shaping our soul and preparing us to fulfill the divine mission that lies ahead. Every difficulty we face, no matter how hard it seems, serves a clear purpose: to strengthen us, expand our awareness, and help us grow. This might seem hard to accept when we're in the middle of suffering, but as we look back, we'll see that it was this suffering that shaped us in a unique way. The chosen ones are those who, instead of being broken by difficulties, become stronger because of them. Each challenge is like a sculptor, patiently chipping away at a rough stone until it reveals a work of art. We can't see it in the moment of pain, but true transformation happens when we learn to look at our experiences from a broader perspective. For example, going through periods of loss or pain teaches us the value of resilience. Adversities teach us to be more compassionate, more patient, and more attentive to the needs of others. They forge us into something more than just survivors of hardship. They prepare us to be leaders, spiritual guides, and sources of inspiration to those around us. History is full of examples of people who, after facing great challenges, became models of strength and wisdom. Nelson Mandela, for example, spent 27 years in prison, but instead of being broken by this experience, he became a symbol of resistance and reconciliation, changing not just South Africa, but the entire world. His ability to endure and transcend years of suffering prepared him to lead a movement that would create global change. Pain and suffering are the spiritual laboratories where souls are forged. They don't come to destroy us. They come to strengthen us. Every time we go through a trial, we come out of it more complete, more aware of our purpose, and more connected to our mission. What once seemed like an unbearable burden, when viewed through the lens of wisdom, reveals itself as preparation for what is to come. This is how challenges shape us. They aren't something to fear, but something to embrace as part of our spiritual growth. Every difficulty we face is an opportunity for growth, a step closer to becoming who we were truly meant to be. To better understand how challenges shape the chosen ones, it's inspiring to look at those who have gone through extreme adversity and emerged stronger with a clear mission to fulfill. Stories like those of Nelson Mandela, Oprah Winfrey, and Viktor Frankl show us how pain can be transformed into power and wisdom. Nelson Mandela, for example, spent 27 years in prison, enduring psychological and physical torture. However, instead of being consumed by hatred or despair, he used this time to strengthen himself, reflect, and prepare for a leadership role that would change not only his country, but the world. The physical suffering he endured didn't break him. It made him a resilient leader, capable of uniting a divided nation. Oprah Winfrey, on the other hand, overcame a childhood marked by abuse, poverty, and abandonment. Throughout her journey, she faced personal and professional challenges, but turned her adversities into fuel for her mission. Today, she's one of the most influential figures in the world, using her story of overcoming obstacles to inspire millions to face their own struggles and transform their lives. Another powerful example is that of Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor. In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl describes how, even in the face of extreme suffering, he was able to find purpose and meaning. For Frankl, the ability to find meaning in suffering was what allowed him to survive and become one of the greatest thinkers of the 20th century. These examples are not just stories of people who survived hardship. They are stories of transformation. They show us that when we go through life's greatest challenges, we are being shaped to fulfill a greater mission. It's not the suffering that defines these individuals, but the way they chose to use it to grow and become something greater than they ever imagined. These are just a few examples, but you might be wondering, what about me? What can I learn from these stories and apply to my own life? Perhaps the greatest secret is realizing that, just like them, you too have the power to transform your challenges into opportunities for growth and ultimately to fulfill the mission you were chosen for. Identifying your spiritual purpose in the midst of challenges may seem like a difficult, even impossible task when you're immersed in pain and suffering. However, the key to understanding the meaning of challenges is learning to see each one as an opportunity for growth, a message from the universe trying to guide you towards something greater. 1. Deepening personal reflection. The first step in identifying your purpose is deep personal reflection. Often we're so focused on trying to survive the challenges that we forget to pause and reflect on what these experiences are trying to teach us. Ask yourself, what is this challenge teaching me about myself? What parts of my life are being tested right now? Every difficulty holds a hidden lesson that, when discovered, can help you understand more about who you truly are and what you're meant to do. 2. Recognizing patterns. Another important step is to recognize patterns in your life. Have you noticed that certain types of challenges appear frequently? Maybe you find yourself facing similar issues over and over again, like struggles with self-esteem, relationship problems, or repetitive career setbacks. This could be a sign that these challenges are connected to something deeper, a spiritual lesson you're being called to learn. When we start to recognize these patterns, we can begin to understand that they aren't just coincidences or punishments, but signs that something in our life needs to be transformed. 3. Developing spiritual resilience. Spiritual resilience is the ability to learn and grow through challenges. It doesn't come from avoiding pain, but from facing it head-on and learning from it. With every obstacle, you have the chance to grow stronger and expand your awareness. Ask yourself, how can I use this experience to become a stronger and wiser person? As you develop this resilience, you'll begin to realize that challenges aren't something to fear, but something that prepares you for something greater. Every hardship overcome becomes a victory, and every scar earned becomes a mark of wisdom. 4. Turning challenges into action. Once you begin reflecting on the meaning of your experiences and recognizing patterns in your life, the next step is to turn these insights into action. Spiritual purpose isn't something that simply appears overnight, but something that is revealed as you act on the lessons learned through adversity. Ask yourself, how can I apply what I've learned from this experience to help others? How can I use this to improve my life and the lives of those around me? Taking action toward this purpose is the key to its fulfillment. It's not enough to simply reflect or understand. True purpose manifests when we begin to act in alignment with it. 5. Connecting with a greater mission. As you begin to discover your spiritual purpose, you'll notice that it is often connected to something larger than your own needs or desires. Purpose isn't just for your own benefit. It's about the contribution you can make to the world. Ask yourself, how can my struggles serve others? How can what I'm learning help transform someone else's life? Often, a person's spiritual purpose is tied to the collective well-being. When we connect with this greater mission, we begin to realize that our challenges aren't just personal, they are part of a collective process of spiritual evolution. 6. Practical exercises to discover your purpose. One practical way to begin identifying your purpose is through journaling or meditation. Set aside time to sit in silence and write about your greatest challenges so far. What have you learned from each of them? How have they changed your perspective on life? As you write, allow yourself to be honest and open without judgment. You may uncover patterns, insights, and emotions you hadn't noticed before. Another helpful exercise is meditation. Take a few minutes each day to connect with your spirituality. Ask your inner self what you are being called to learn and do. These simple exercises can be powerful because they help bring to light the purpose hidden within you. Remember, your purpose doesn't have to be something grand or immediate. Sometimes it reveals itself gradually, as you allow yourself to grow through each experience. Now that you've begun to understand how challenges can shape your life and how suffering can be the key to your purpose, it's time to take the next step. Action. Reflection and understanding your purpose are essential, but nothing happens until you move toward what has been revealed to you. Ask yourself, what can I do today to begin applying what I've learned from my challenges? It might be a small step, like approaching a challenge in a new way, or even sharing your experience with someone who needs support. The important thing is to start, because every action, no matter how small, takes you one step closer to your destiny. I challenge you to reflect on the steps you can take today to align your actions with the greater purpose you're discovering. It could be as simple as a kind gesture, a commitment to your mental health, or a search for a deeper purpose in your career. As you commit to these small changes, you'll begin to see how they soon become part of a much larger transformation. Now is the time to take charge of your destiny. Embrace your challenges, learn from them, and trust that they are shaping you for a higher purpose. Your path is unfolding, and each test is guiding you to become the person you were meant to be. If this video inspired you, share it with someone who might need this message. Don't forget to subscribe for more reflections like this. Until next time.